fastest, only 4 seconds slower than Duncan. He was having a great run in the N16 and was happy to be on a similar pace to the leader, once again touching on 200 kilometers per hour as he approaches this junction. Hardip Resi was third fastest, his wayward driving style giving our cameraman cause to abandon station. Jassi Chathe was once again slower and was beginning to be pressured by Isa Mirza, who had reduced the gap to just 13 seconds. Mirza has been second fastest on the 7th stage and was in striking distance of Chathe. He had opened up over a minute gap to Resi, who was secure in fourth overall. Rajbir Rai went 6th fastest. He had been as high as third but was slowly slipping down the order and was lying in 6th overall. Alex Hossi went 7th fastest and overhauled Frank Tundo to move into 8th overall. Issa Mwari was a further 16 seconds back in the Evo 9 but was almost 2 minutes down on Rai to hold on 7th overall. Jasmeet Chana was almost a minute behind Amwari and was coming under pressure from Alex Hossi, who now trailed him by just 5 seconds. He would need to push if he wanted to hold on to 8th. Frank Tundo couldn't match the pace of those in front and had fallen back to 10th overall with temperatures soaring in the cockpit. Onkarai had taken over the driving from Baldev Chaga. It was a steep learning curve as he went back to the drawing board to drive the Porsche. Feed the power in too fast and the net result is a lucky escape from this spin. They were still 11th overall and having fun. Alistair Keith continued to push, the title all but gone. He was still determined to finish well and recover positions. He closed the gap to Hussein to 30 seconds with 2 stages left. Jaswida Chana was on the verge of retaining his championship crown after an interesting season that had seen him climb up the leaderboard after retiring on 3 events. Stephen Mwangi was enjoying the coast event in his Subaru and was lying in 15th overall. Davinda Saimbi had changed the color scheme on his ex-Chaga N16 and was lying 16th. Rob Hellier continued a steady run of second fastest times in the 160J but was still 4th in class. Hardev Sira was once again faster than Khan and had opened up a 3-minute gap over the Porsche. However, he still needed Khan to falter if he had any chance of snatching the title. Aslam Khan was enjoying the new Porsche. The test had gone well and despite being third in class, he was on course to retain his title. Dennis Mwenda continued to lead the 2-wheel drives. Varese had moved back into 2nd overall and John Nesbitt was on course to complete the podium. The crews headed to stage 10 for another run at the fence stage with the ambient temperature in the 30s and closer to 50 degrees centigrade in the car. It was going to be tougher than the morning pass. Quintin Mitchell finally got the better of Duncan to be the leader by 10 seconds. He was on full attack, determined to put the N16 on the podium and break the Mitsubishi dominance. He closed the gap to just 21 seconds in the process. Ian Duncan couldn't afford to relax and would have to keep up the pace to the end. He lost ground to Mitchell, but with just a short spectator stage in Kilifi left, the win was in sight. Chathe was third fastest to consolidate the podium position. He had been off the pace of the pair in front but had done enough to keep the chasing pack off his tail. Hardip Resi was 4th fastest in the absence of some of the top drivers. He had taken full advantage to show his talent and hold 5th overall. Izar Mirza was 5 seconds slower but held over a minute advantage to Resi. He had shown his potential all season and was holding on to 4th to record a fantastic result in front of his home crowd. Rajbir Rai was settled for 6th. It had been a steady drive for the Nakuru driver in his first season behind the Evo 10 and he will certainly be one to watch next year. Issa Mwari was 2 seconds slower than Rai on the stage, but with almost a 2-minute gap, he would have to be content with 7th overall. Jasmeet Chana was 8th fastest and 8th overall, another top 10 result to top off a good season for the Evo 9 driver. Frank Tundo went quicker than Alex Hossi and overhauled him in the process to move back to 9th. Alex Hossi rounded out the top 10. It had been a lackluster performance by the coast driver, partly caused by the timing errors that had put him off his game early in the day. Farhaz Khan drove steadily to hold on to 11th overall in the N12 to record another good finish. Onkarai and Baldev Chaga's outing in the Porsche had been a steep learning curve and fantastic preparation for the upcoming East African event. Alistair Keith overhauled Malik to move into second in class with another stage win. He had driven well to recover from the turbo issues in the morning, but his title dreams were over. Jacinda Chana set an identical time to Onkarai in their Porsche. It had been a tactical drive by the defending champion, and he was rewarded with a class win and with it, the 2013 championship title. Hardev Sira never backed off and will finish second in class. Sadly, it wasn't enough to secure the title, but we hope to see him back next year to challenge once again. Aslam Khan finished third in class. It was enough to retain his title after a season that saw him miss 2 events after injuring his wrist in Nyeri. He had been forced to play catch-up but had eventually overhauled Sira and is a worthy champion. Dennis Mwenda sealed a remarkable season with victory in the F2 class, proving that he too is a worthy champion after being largely uncatchable all season. The crews returned to the seaside town of Kilifi for one last spectator stage before the finale of the 2013 season. Ian Duncan and Quinton Mitchell set an identical time of 1 minute and 24 seconds. It had been a tough season for Duncan. An accident in Nyeri was followed by 2 victories in Voi and Nakuru before gearbox problems put him out of the safari. A win on the Coast Rally means he takes the runner-up spot. Next up, he will be challenging for a victory in the East African Safari Classic, having taken overall honours in 2009. Hardeep Resi also set the same time as the leading pair to take his first stage win of the season. Iza Mirza was a second behind. 4th overall was his best result to date, and despite several top drivers missing the event, he will definitely be one to watch next season. Jassi Chathe completed the podium and with it, the Division 2 title. He has steadily improved all season, and as to roll on the safari was the only setback, and set second overall in his home event in Kisumu was a high point of the season. Expect plenty more from him next year. The 2013 KCB Kenya National Rally Championship draws to a close, and as Ian Duncan sprayed the champagne, there was plenty to celebrate. It had been a memorable season with fantastic competition in all the categories. We look forward to returning in 2014 for another action-packed season. A final look at the championship tables. Baldev Chaga had already been crowned the 2013 Kenya National Rally Champion on the last event, but Ian Duncan sealed the runner-up spot ahead of Carl Tundo. Jaswinda Chana retained his title after a close-fought battle with Alistair Keith and Mahesh Alai, who had gone down to the final event. Dennis Mwenda had been dominant in the F2 category and was a worthy champion. Aslam Khan retains his title after playing catch-up in the latter part of the season. Despite leading for most of the year, Hardev Sira would eventually finish as the runner-up. Next up for the rally fans is the 2013 East African Safari Classic Rally at the end of November. Top local entries include Ian Duncan, Carl Tundo with Alistair Kavanagh, and Baldev Chaga competing with Onkarai. It's a grueling 9-day event that will feature a host of international stars, amongst them defending champion Bjorn Valdegard. We'll see you there.